everybody, welcome back to Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, the Rika chapter. If before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe on my channel. I know you want to, and make sure to follow me on Twitch too, because I have to go live pretty much every night Japan time at around 8 p.m. I'm on summer vacation right now, so it might be a little different, but yeah. So let's get started. And I have to make separate save files because apparently there's actually choices and I don't want to redo crap. Okay, here we go. Wait. Oh, I want to be Keiichi. I want to see if he remembers things. What? I know, I've heard some people mention it, but they were serious about that? I don't know who's talking. Is it Keiichi or is it Rika? This world always has a lot of nice suggestions, but they're mostly out of politeness, right? They're just something you laugh off and reply with, that would be nice. But those ideas generally end as jokes, so it's crazy when they turn real. Yeah, I'm serious. Uncle Yoshiro was giving you a ton of praise. He said it was amazing how well that pop-up pirate game went in the toy store yesterday. I had no idea you could play that game like that. I should mention that some of the kids at my table wanted to play with you too. Oh, we are Keiichi. Oh, I'm so excited. Keiichi is a genius when it comes to playing games. You know, I wasn't just playing around. I was giving it my all because I had no choice but to win. I guess we made it look like a lot of fun for the audience, though. Shion? You definitely have a blast no matter what club activity you're doing, Kei. The coach was saying that the Hinamizawa fighters would be so happy if you joined the team. That's very true. Dr. Iri had nothing but great things to say about you at the meeting last night, my bar. You have the ability to bring people joy, and far more than you think you do. You think so too? This old man didn't mention your name just because you're his friend. He did it because he's confident you can do the job. I was there at the meeting too, and no one was against the idea. Maba, you honestly do have a good reputation around the village. I've heard good things about you in Okonomiya, too. What you did in the match between the Hinamizawa fighters and Okonomiya Titans was legendary. It really was incredible. The reporters were there to see Kameda, but they were more impressed by you. They were talking about the rigged baseball match I set up with Kameda. The public did end up believing that talented picture walked me out of fear for my insight. Kameda and I have entered a strange relationship since then, but I'd really rather not talk about that right now. What do you think, Keiichi? I think you can do it. I'm backing you up. I definitely think... Oh. I definitely think you should be in charge of the Waranagashi Planning Committee. Waranagashi is an annual village festival held in June. It's supposed to be the biggest event in the village, and most of the people here gather for it. Since this is a major event, they always organize a committee to plan out the festival a few months in advance. The festival's only 2 weeks away, and I just moved. But now they want me to join? Look, first of all, I don't even know what you do in a committee. You don't need to be too concerned. The job we unanimously want you to fill is hosting the auction. What the hell is that? Do you want me to sell bananas or something? Well, let me explain. We're holding an auction event for the first time this year. We're gonna auction off donated items just to see how it turns out. There's kind of a long story behind it. We wanted to do something in which everyone can participate using donated items as prizes. But the elderly members decided to distribute the prizes using something other than a lottery for their own reasons. To put it simply, our hag of a grandmother let her temper get to her and wouldn't back down after that. But she didn't really consider any specifics. Yep! Anyway, we had to come up with how to utilize those donated items. At that point, we thought of doing an auction. That sounds like fun! You might be able to get something good for a really cheap price! It's fun to just watch the show, too. The items were all donated, so they were free, huh? That committee sure is good at making money. The profit will be going into the beer fund for the village committee winter getaway trip. It's not fair. You're not ready for beer yet, Furude-san. I think I understand what's going on now, but still, I've never done anything like it before. I'm sure you can do it, Keiichi. I bet you'd do really well if they told you you'd keep 10% of the profits. Well, yeah. If I can gain something from producing results, then I'll do my best at it. On the other hand, you might be facing a dreadful penalty game if you don't produce anything. Wait a minute, Satoko. Why would I agree to a risky deal like that? Don't forget, they're the ones asking for my help. I'm a very busy guy, you know. Try asking my agent first. Alright, Kei. If you want some kind of compensation, we can talk about it. I really want you to be part of this. We can make a deal. Huh. That sounds interesting. I wonder what I should ask for. We're always talking punishments, but this is our first time talking about a reward. That's true. We're always fighting for something, huh? Rina's right. The whole purpose of our club activities is to escape the punishments we come up with. Even if we win, we never get a prize or reward for it. Keiichi has no idea how to respond to something that sounds too good to be true. Maybe me can come up with a good idea. It's hard to decide on what you want, isn't it? Let me see. How about this? An admission ticket to Angel Mort's dessert fiesta. Don't be too cheap, sis. Why don't you give him 3 years worth of admission? Hey! That sounds more like a deluxe reward to me. I heard some people pay lots of money for that ticket. Are you sure you can hook me up with 3 years worth of admission? Of course I can, but you have to do a good job. I'm sure he will. With Keiichi there, it's going to be heaps of fun. I feel the same way. I'm really looking forward to the auction now. Yeah, you could probably get people to line up for takoyaki that doesn't even contain octopus. He did that in one. Takoyaki without octopus? No, that's impossible. No, I'm pretty sure you could do it. Yeah! He'd probably say it was a healthier kind of takoyaki. Are you making fun of me? So what do you think, Mabar? I think you'll do a wonderful job. She was also on the committee. She must have backed up me in suggestion when she brought my name up after their last meeting. I'd also love to see what kind of magic you can do. Peepa. Man, it's so interesting. When you're speaking as Rika, you can see how depressed and hopeless she is. But when you see her from this perspective, she just looks like the sweetest little thing, right? A good auction always depends on how good a speaker the host is. Sounds like it's gonna be Keiichi's big show. It'll be much fun just to watch. Hey, I haven't accepted yet. Don't worry, you can do it. You're saying that because you don't have to. Oh, That's not true. The principal suddenly opened his mouth. Mabara, in my opinion, you'll do a fine job. I don't know what accent that was. As a man, isn't it your responsibility to meet people's expectations? If I had to, I'm sure I could do it. Mian made me do so many different things for the club, and I've learned a lot from that. Besides, this would be the first time I could get a reward without having to worry about punishment. It should be fun, too. This was the first time so many people were counting on me like this. To be honest, it made me pretty happy. Still, I was worried about getting dragged into something that required a lot of work. I couldn't erase that thought from my mind. But I was in Hinamizawa. The people in this village would never do anything to betray me. They genuinely believed I would do a lot to liven up the festival if I became the host of their auction. I've only been here for a short period, but I know that people here are honest and kind. Fine. As a man, I'll do it. Take care of it. Wait and see. I'll make it the greatest auction in the world. Don't forget to give me that Angel Mort pass. I'll make sure to go good enough. I'll deserve 10 years worth of tickets. Good for you, Kei. Everyone gave me a round of applause. How many times had this happened in my life? Not once. This was the first time I'd ever been applauded. By the way, I'm surprised no one disagreed with the suggestion at the meeting. There are lots of old people in the village committee. I'm a young guy who just moved here. I've known for a while that Mian has a lot of influence locally, but I couldn't believe that everyone in the committee would accept just like that. Most of them are kind of hard-headed old people. But the new generation is gradually taking over, you know? We won the dam conflict, and now we're aiming to build a new era and grow more and more prosperous. That's why we value the involvement of young people and people from outside the village, too. You're young, and you're from the city. You also have good reputation, so you're the perfect guy for this. I have a good reputation, huh? I have no idea why so many people have heard of me. It's something to do with me's punishments, I think. I knew it. Alright then. I'll call your parents about it tonight, so please let them know when you get back home today. I'm sure my parents will have no problem. They won't have any objections to raise, at least. They might ask me why my name was brought up, though. Chi-sensei and the principal went back to the teacher's office after the discussion ended. We were in the middle of lunch at the moment. Chi and the principal had come along together. And Mian scared me by saying they had just something to talk to me about. My stomach wasn't digesting my lunch particularly well. My Bora! I heard everything. Good for you! It's a big honor being chosen by the village committee. Hey there, Tomita Okamura. I'd love to give that honor to you. No, thank you. I wouldn't be able to handle it. I realized the whole class was talking about me. They were saying how fun Wada Nagashi was going to be and how high their expectations were. I might have taken on a huge responsibility. I needed to do my best to succeed at it. By the way, I forgot something. My granny made tons of ohage. She told me to give them to my classmates. Mian clapped her hands as she remembered and took out her butt bag. She opened the lid, letting us see a bunch of ohage neatly packed inside. Wow, there really are a lot. I think there might be enough for everyone in the class to have one. It looks so yummy and cute. For some reason, my granny loves making ohage. That's because Sohei used to love them. Oh yeah, I heard my Gramps used to like ohage. He ate tons of them. But your grandma, ohage is something that what makes her remember your late grandpa, huh? You think so? I thought Gramps liked canned food. You don't like canned food, do you, Shion? What? Is that true? Why so? Well, it's because of the smell. I just don't like the smell of metal. Oh, is that so? After always forcing me to eat my squash, it turns out that you have something you can't eat? To tell you the truth, she hates canned food because... Come on, sis. Don't you dare tell anyone. I don't know what's going on, but it seems Mion knows a secret about Shion. Tell us. Go on. The reason why Shion doesn't like canned food must be something pretty funny. The two sisters battled for a while. I don't remember why she doesn't. The machine gun knee kicks Mion launched from close quarters weren't bad, but I don't think she expected Shion to land a capture suplex off of it. Guess Shion's the stronger of the two siblings. I'd rather tell you the truth than have you hear it from my sis. See, there's this bad guy named Kasai. He once told me, when I was still young and innocent, that there's sometimes human meat mixed in with canned food. I've never been legend like that before. Me too. I once heard that dog meat's mixed in beef bowl and worms inside burgers. Oh, are you serious? I can never eat beef bowls or burgers again after hearing something like that. You see, Satoko? It was very traumatic for me. You have my sympathy, but I still have yet to forget how you made me eat a full course squash meal. You need to let go of that one. That meal was delicious. Because we're talking about this, I'm starting to get worried there might be something mixed into this ohagi too. Oh? Well, at least the ohagi that I brought. You can't really be sure there's nothing else inside. Come on, Keiichi. Come on, baby. Ohagi that Mion brought. When you consider that, it's only natural to suspect that she probably did something to them. What's going on? I felt like I was forgetting something. But I didn't remember what I was forgetting. It was like one of those deja vu moments. I'd never been in this situation, but my mind was telling me I'd been there before. What's wrong, Keiichi? Nothing. I feel like Mion's given me ohagi before. But this is the first time, right? Is it? Me? I think this is the first time. You must be mistaking it for something else. According to my memory, this is the first time Mion brought ohagi to school. Oh my god, Rika, I want him to remember for Rika's sake so badly. I know. You're being cautious because these are from the old man, aren't you? That's nothing to brag about. I think you should be reflecting on your regular behavior. You're right. I wouldn't feel that way if Reina brought me ohagi. Reina's really good at cooking. They're small but very carefully made. Huh? I've never made ohagi before. What? What was I saying? Why did I say Reina made ohagi before? Why would I know Reina makes hers small but neatly? Huh? I had no idea where that memory was coming from. I could only assume it was some error in my brain. Mion was saying this was her first time bringing ohagi to class. As I tilted my head in confusion, everyone started reaching inside the box. Rena took one out for me and put it on the lid. I stared at it closely. What was I so concerned about? Mion said that I was probably concerned that she did something to the ohagi, but it wasn't quite that. I really didn't know how to explain it. I felt like I was forgetting something important. I'd forgotten something. Something important. And all I had was this obligation to remember it. In front of me was nothing but a single ohagi that came from Mion's house. I was frustrated, but I couldn't think of anything. There's no way I could remember it because I didn't know anything. Keiichi, I've been staring at your ohagi for a long time. What's the matter? Oh, it's just, I'm experiencing deja vu. Don't you get it sometimes? It's your first time seeing something, but you feel like you've seen it before. I'm sorry, I just wanted to remember something. Okay. So, you feel like Mion has given you ohagi in the past? I'm sure it's just my imagination. Mion just told me she never brought ohagi to school before. Keiichi, you can't have memories of what didn't happen. If you remember something, I'm sure it really happened before. Rika told me something strange. I didn't usually take her random comments seriously, but ever since I saw her making those predictions in the toy store, I've been curious about her special powers. I felt like she was telling me something deep. It's weird to hear that from you since you're so great at making predictions. Are you talking about the cycle of reincarnation or something? I don't know much about religion. I just want to tell you that if you know something, that's something that happened to you. I want you to try and remember what happened. I don't want you to treat it like you're just mistaken. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I guess? I was a little surprised by how serious she sounded. I always thought Rika was just an innocent girl who fooled around all the time saying things like meep and meepa. But all of a sudden she seemed like a totally different girl. Was I supposed to take it as a joke? The serious look on her face told me it wasn't the time for jokes, though. If that's what you're telling me, then I guess I got ohagi from Mion in a previous life. I won't make fun of you, so please tell me everything. Why did Mii give you that ohagi? The more I think about it, the more it's just my imagination. Maybe it was a dream. I don't care if it was a dream. You must remember something. Please tell me. I'm so sorry. What was up with her? She seemed so curious about it. I didn't think the story was that interesting. Her asking so much made me feel uncomfortable. Still, something told me that I needed to talk to Rika about everything I could. Maybe she could predict my future by reading my dreams. But the interesting thing is things have already changed, so now can she predict it? I should tell her everything. After all, she's the shrine maiden for Oyoshiro-sama. Well, I think I skipped school that day. I had a cold or something. My memory was scattered all over my brain like powder. I could see myself standing in front of the door. Mion was there, and someone else was standing there too. I think it was Reina. Mion brought me ohagi so I'd get better. I think she told me her grandma made it, just like today. And then? Well, I ate that ohagi after they went back home. Then I found something inside. I'm sure I saw it in a comic book or something. It's mixed up, but I'm sure I read it somewhere in a comic book. Because it can't be true. Keiichi, tell me what happened. What did you find inside the ohagi? Well, I read this scary comic book when I was little, and there was a sewing needle inside someone's burger. You remember what Shion was just saying now? It can be traumatic to hear a story like that when you're young. I didn't remember much about that comic. I think it was about this girl who had an accident and held a grudge against the person who caused the injury on her face. It was a really cheap plot now that I think about it. But since I was little, the comic really scared me. In one chapter, the girl casts a curse on the guy's food. He eats the burger with sewing needles inside of it. And he goes, "Gah!" Something like that. It still freaked me out. The image was grotesque and shocking. I grew into kind of a trauma, and for a while I searched for sewing needles in my food every time I ate something. I couldn't eat burgers for a while for that reason. But my parents got concerned, and my hunger overcame the trauma. Eventually, that experience disappeared into the flow of time. I'm still a little worried about sewing needles every once in a while. I don't think about it all the time, of course. It'd be pretty rude if I poked at my food while eating lunch with you guys, wouldn't it? Of course I know no one would actually put a sewing needle inside my food. But you're still a little scared? Oh, well, maybe I am somewhere in my heart. So, you saw a sewing needle inside the ohagi that Mi gave you? You saw a sewing needle inside of one? Yeah, I did. Inside that ohagi there was a needle, just as I feared. Why was I telling her something that was just my imagination? Mion and Reina came to see me when I took a day off from school while I was sick. That never happened, so obviously it was just my brain making it up. But I spoke to Rika because she said she wouldn't make fun of me. Are you afraid of this ohagi now? Do you feel there might be a needle inside? Is that why you're not eating it? I realized that Mion and Reina were also looking at me. They were wondering why I was staring at the ohagi without eating it. You don't like ohagi, Kei? If you don't, you don't have to eat it. Mion was assuming I didn't like ohagi. She felt bad for forcing me to eat something I didn't like. In turn, I felt guilty seeing the sad expression on her face. Sis, he must be convinced you put something in it. I immediately denied Shiana's remark. No one else would understand what I'm saying, even if I didn't know. No, I know for sure there's no sewing needle inside this ohagi. A sewing needle? Why would this old man put something like that in there? Of course you wouldn't. You're not the type to visit and bring something with you out of pure generosity. You might play a trick with Tabasco sauce or something, but you'd never put needles inside. You'd never do something as dangerous as that. I know you would never do such a thing. I grabbed the ohagi with my hand. As I brought it to my mouth, I felt the need to check just in case. But I told myself clearly, "Hey, you wimp! When are you gonna stop being so scared of that stupid comic book?" Mion brought these ohagi to treat everyone in class. There's no way she'd put needles in these. No, don't force it out. I forced that stupid memory out of my brain and munched on the ohagi. Delicious. Of course it is. There wasn't a needle inside, was there? No way. I'm sorry. I was just caught up in a traumatic experience I once had. My heart stopped pounding and I felt relieved. The next moment I got the urge to say something to Mion. It wasn't the right thing to say, but I just felt like I had to say it. Hey, Mion. Huh? What is it? The ohagi was delicious. Huh? I'm glad I brought them then, even though they were really heavy. I didn't know why I wanted to tell her again that the ohagi was delicious, but I was glad I said that to her. I was finally released from that odd feeling. Well then, since Kei overcame his fears and ate the ohagi, you should eat the squash, Satoko. It's so soft and sweet. How can that lunchbox always be full of a squash? I like squash. You're gonna give me a traumatic experience. She is trying very hard so Satoko stops eating squash. She's so passionate about it. Maybe she sees her future little sister. By the time I finished eating my ohagi, we returned to our usual fun lunchtime. Keiichi, what if... Huh? What if what? What if you really do see a needle inside your food? What would you do? Well, that's not gonna happen. Don't threaten me, Rika. Keiichi, what if it really happens? Rika looked at me with a serious face as I joked. What's gotten into her lately? Stop it. It's not going to happen. I don't believe it will. I had just overcome my stupid trauma after all that. That's why I made that firm statement. I understand, Keiichi. I'm sorry I'm asking you so much. If you see a needle inside your food, it's definitely some kind of mistake. Please don't ever believe it's me's fault. You're just trying to tell me not to be suspicious of Mion, right? Of course I won't. I would never be suspicious of my friends. I raised my fist in the air. Rika finally looked happy. She smiled as if relieved by my words. She's probably... I'm surprised she didn't push harder. She tried, she did, but she needs to push harder. I wish they would make the text different because they did that for... They did that for, when it was Reina and Keiichi. The items donated for the auction were gathered at the Furude Shrine. Oh, there's so much stuff here. I expected to see towels and old furniture, but there are way more things than that. I can even see TVs and refrigerators. These are pretty new, too. Impressed, huh? We got donations from the stores my family owns. Some of them were display products or leftovers they can't sell, but they're practically brand new. If you don't mind something a model behind, they're incredible, right? Seeing how sun-bleached the brand new sticker on these appliances are makes me feel kind of sorry for them. No, Satoko, that's actually a big selling point. Even if it's a little faded, people feel better using brand new tools than they do someone else's items. Meep. Youngsters these days sure are picky. I don't really care whether it's new or not. All I care about is the price. Reina, you seem interested in furniture. Are you thinking about living on your own or something? Oh no! My dad and I were just talking about redecorating the house. Brand new furniture is expensive, so I've been checking out these recycled ones. You're changing the furniture? That's quite a big deal. finally found a job recently. So we kind of want to make a fresh start out of it. Your father found a new job? Rika asked her. I was thinking the same thing. Does that mean Reina's father was unemployed until recently? Yeah, he didn't work for a whole year after he broke up with my mom. I was so upset. I was always telling him to go get a job already. Reina explained that with her usual smile, so it took me a moment to realize how serious it was. If what she said was true, her parents were divorced, and she wasn't living in a very good family environment. Reina talked about it like it was nothing. Your mother and father broke up? Yeah, we got divorced back in town we were living in before. That's why my dad and I came back to Hinamizawa. My dad couldn't get over the divorce for a long time, though. He was always just sleeping or daydreaming. Divorces and breakups always wound deeper the more they love their partner. It's not really a bad thing that your father was hurt so much. That's a romantic way to put it. Anyway, I eventually found out that he was spending a lot of money at the bar. I was shocked when I looked at her bank account. Reina's mom is a famous designer. Their family used to make lots of money. So her father got lots of settlement money upon the divorce. That's why he was able to pay for the living expenses for a while. Perhaps that's why it took him so long to get back on track. That's true. If he had no money, he would have no choice but to work. He would have had no time to be depressed if he kept himself busy. It's tough leaving an ordinary pattern of life. It can really mess up people's cycles. I understand because I was that way for a while after I left the academy. Staying at home like a hermit is the worst thing you can do. You're exactly right, Rika. That's why I had a talk with him. We talked about his responsibility as the head of a household and as a parent. You always look like you're fooling around, but you're actually the most reliable person in this group. I'm impressed you spoke to your father like that. It wasn't a big deal. I was shocked at first. I found out my dad was spending his money on some lady. As his daughter, it really hurt to find that out. And then, what did you do? Well, it was no good to think about it on my own. I just kept thinking in a negative way. So I spoke to me about it. All I did was listen. Reina was the one who faced her problems and came to the conclusion of talking with her dad about them. I didn't give her any advice. But that was the important thing. Talking to people about your problems can help you calm down a lot. So why did you talk to Mion in this one but not the other one? Did it really have to do with the doll? Like, so far the only thing that has changed in this world is that first day. Is that so? If she overcame it just by talking to Sis, maybe her problem wasn't that serious. That's not true, she! Before I spoke to me, all I thought about was how to hurt that lady. But I realized that wasn't a good solution at all. Talking it out with him was the most important thing. So what happened after you spoke with him? Well, we concluded he wasn't moving on because of the money. So we transferred the funds to a different account and I took charge of them. Now my dad has to get an allowance from me every month. Oh, it's as though you're the parent now. Everyone else laughed along with Satoko. I wasn't sure if I should laugh, but I saw Reina laughing too. Anyway, the money was keeping her father from moving on. As soon as he remembered the value of money, he stopped going to that shady bar and got a job. It really was perfect timing. He was getting ready to pay the down payment for this lady's apartment. That would have been a mess. You talk about it like it's nothing, but it's a pretty serious story. Your family could have been ruined. That's true. If I didn't talk to me and kept thinking about it on my own, I don't know where I would have been by now. I think I probably would have tried to kill that lady. Everyone laughed at hearing such a dangerous thing come out of Reina's mouth. I wonder if he's going to remember now. Reina laughed too, but I saw something serious in her eyes. It was probably true she thought about murdering that lady. She seduced Reina's father so she could get money out of him. Knowing how short-tempered I am, I might do the same thing if that happened to me. I think she made the right decision in doing that instead of being irrational. I'm impressed. It's not that easy to talk about your family issues. I know. It took me a while to make the decision to talk to me. But that one dream changed everything. What? A dream? Yep! Every night in bed I'd think about my problems, so I was troubled even in my dreams. In my dream, I thought about what happened to me if I didn't do anything. I don't know if what I saw was my imagination or a prediction of the future. In my dream, I saw that lady living with us in our home. Oh, that never happened, so... My dad and I don't smoke, but there was an ashtray in the living room. The futon in our guest room was now hers. In the bathroom, there was toothbrush and shampoo I never choose to buy. It was an unusual sight. That must have been very difficult and disgusting. Satoko never told me, but I'd heard that she lost her parents too. I'd heard that she went through tough times when she was taken in by her aunt and uncle. Someone told me about that once. Satoko seemed to understand Reina's pain very well. Yeah, it was really disheartening. Eventually, I felt like I didn't belong there anymore. Then something urged me to kill her. That sounds so realistic for a dream. What happened after that? I realized I was a murderer. I didn't want anyone to find out about it, and I stopped trusting anybody. I spent all day at the place I buried her. I was afraid if I left that place, someone would find out I killed her. That's a nightmare. I'm glad it was just a dream for you. I don't know. I wonder if it was just a dream. I think I saw my future. That would have happened if I didn't do anything about the situation. I woke up the next morning shaking in fear. I even felt like I smelled her perfume at my house. I wondered when that dream was going to come true. I was so afraid that I pushed me to talk to me. I remember Reina coming and telling me she had a secret to tell me. I honestly thought she'd gotten positive on a pregnancy test for a moment. I can talk about this a little now, but it was very serious then. Mi's really dependable. She listened to me and guided me through a solution. Eventually, we decided I needed to talk with him face to face. Perhaps it wasn't just a dream. You're right. I think it was more than that. Without that dream, it's possible you never would have spoken to me on. That could have changed your life dramatically. A dream, huh? You've had dreams too, Shion? Shion said something in a small voice. Only Mion picked up what it was. I don't know what she said, But based on Mion's reaction, she must have said something serious. I thought it was just Keiichi. I was kind of just wanting it to be Keiichi, to be perfectly honest. By the way, Shion usually went to school in Okonomiya. However, she'd been coming to the school in Hinamizawa lately. I didn't know why she chose to come this far, but she seemed to be having fun taking care of Satoko. Okay, so remember Shion made a promise to Satoshi to take care of Satoko? I had no idea what brought Shion and Satoko together. Wait, weren't they on bad terms once? Huh? Is that true? Were they always that close or not? Huh? Now I know it's important to talk to other people! That's what she said at the end of the last chapter. We'll have fun in a normal way. We'll laugh together in a normal way, and we'll fall in love in a normal way. We won't doubt each other. We'll trust each other. Friends have greater meaning than I thought. You can talk to them about anything. I finally came to realize that. You're right. You resolved not only your family issue, but you realized the importance of friendship. Yeah. If anyone's troubled by something, I want to help. I really do. I want everyone to think they can talk to me about their problems. Meep. Reina's saying something very important right now. Rika's right. We all nodded at her without joking around. A moment later, we heard someone locking the door. We were all surprised. That person didn't mean to lock the door. She must have locked it by accident, not knowing it was already open. She turned the knob, thinking it was now unlocked. Huh? Is anybody inside? The lady knocked on the door. I could hear several other people outside the door. Oh, sorry! Let me open it. Mian replied in a loud voice and walked towards the door. I heard her greeting the ladies from the town council. Hey, will you guys lend a hand? What is it? I immediately saw why Mian called us over. The people from the village committee had brought another donation. It was an old cupboard. We all helped to carry it inside the room. As I walked through the door, I realized the Higurashi were starting to cry, taking over from the cicadas. I heard you're going to host the auction, my Bara. Everyone thinks you're the best man for that job. Did someone just meow? Everyone, we're all looking forward to seeing your showmanship. I'll do my best, but please don't expect too much from me. Sure, you say. You're here today so we can come up with an idea on how to sell these things. They have every reason to expect great things from you. I'll make sure I'm at my best then. The other ladies smiled and told me they were looking forward to it. It hadn't been that long since I moved to this village, but even these people offered me a huge responsibility during the festival. So you could say they've accepted me as a member of this village. I caused so much trouble where I lived before I couldn't even go outside. But they're accepting me as a member of the village. I was so happy. I felt bad I still hadn't learned their names. And I was going to do my best to entertain the villagers who are supporting me. What are you going to do now, Mion? Are you staying here? No, we're going home now. Right, Kei? Yep. I got a good idea what we have here. I should be fine now. I'm not interested in Watagashi, but I do still want to see his auction. Maybe I'll come to the festival too. You absolutely must be there, Shion. It'll be great if we all hang out together. disagree. Whoop. She lives in Okonomiya. She should go to the festival there. I think she should come. I think me will prove entertaining if she does. Since most of us want her to be here, it's decided that she is going to come. You hear that, sis? You'll be in my shadow on the day of the festival. But let's at least be nice to each other. Ugh! I hate you, Shion. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Whenever Mion says, I know they're actually close. The more Mion tried to refuse her, the more it was obvious how close they really were. Right, let's go. Make sure you get everything. I'm turning off the light now. We made sure we didn't leave anything inside and left. I looked around at the shrine grounds while Mion locked the door. This big place will be filled with people on the day of the Watanagashi. These grounds are going to be the site of the festival. Man, I can't even imagine the crowd. I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be lots of stalls, and it'll be packed with people. You'll be surprised, I think. I wish they'd quit being stingy and hold something every season instead of once a year. That reminds me, there is someone who visits every season. Huh? Who are you talking about? Oh, I know who you mean. It's that photographer I met the other day, isn't it? What was his name? You know Tomatake, Keiichi? That's right, Tomatake. I met him on my way back home. Reina and Mion told me about him. Despite his burly frame, he's a fairly modest guy. He comes here every year to take pictures, right? That's what he claims, at least. Whenever I see him, I feel like Watanagashi close by. And after Watanagashi, it's the beginning of summer. That's true! But the cicada's already crying because it's gotten hot early this year. I heard on TV this year is unusual. It's something to do with that thing called global warming. It's 1983, by the way. Also, screw you, Keiichi. Japanese summers are not fun. Especially when there's COVID and there's no festivals or fireworks or fun things that make summer the best part. It's not a proper summer if it's cool. Yes, I agree. I like the different climates of the seasons. Cool summers and warm winters disappoint me. We've got to be as passionate as the hot summer too. How many of us are going to be at the festival? It's going to be a battle of the 6 evils. Once again, we'll have a great Watanagashi this year. I agree. I hope we'll have lots of fun. Hey Reina, don't you know? When Rika says something like that, it's not just what she hopes for, it's a prediction. If Rika's telling us that it's gonna be great, it really is gonna be great. That's our fate. Right, Rika? Yes. That's our fate. Rika smiled with the nipa. Her smile assured me that the day of the Watanagashi was going to be a great one for us. I wonder if he actually did meet Tomatake, or if he's just pulling something from his head and he didn't actually meet him. I hope that's the case. The auction won't be starting right away, will it? No. It's gonna be right before the ritual dance, so we'll have plenty of time to hang out together. Indeed. I miss Hanyu. She's so cute. It's your first festival. You deserve to have fun. After Kei's auction, we get to see Rika-chama's ritual dance? Oh, sounds good to me. That means I don't get to see Keiichi the whole time. I have to stand by for the dance. You're gonna be in the show too, Rika. What's the dance about? Are you gonna do something traditional because you're the shrine maiden? There's a dance and a ceremony for paying respect to the cotton inside the futon. You should root for Rika too, Keiichi. You see. Rika dances in her shrine outfit. It's so cute. Are you taking her home? I've never seen a real shrine maiden before. I'm sure Rika will look adorable. I was looking forward more and more to the Minagoroshi festival. Reina, Mion, Shion, Satoko, Rika, and I. The 6 of us will definitely have a great time there. How many more days did we have? I'd never been this excited about a festival in my life. I'm nervous because everything seems to be going well. Oh, yay, Rika! Satoko's snoring sounded so subtle when I stood by the window. Satoko? I could tell she was sound asleep. She snores so cutely! Hanyu laughed and tried to poke Satoko's nose. I looked up at the sky. Nothing was different about the moon, but the moonlight seemed warmer than usual to me. Rika, you seem to be in a good mood. Yes, I think I am. I realized it only after Hanyu pointed it out. I really was in a good mood. Otherwise, I wouldn't be enjoying the view of the sky on a humid night like this. I felt like bringing a toast to the moon. As I rooted around the back of the closet, Hanyu spoke to me, sounding noticeably upset. Rika, don't you even think about drinking. I deserve it. Just tonight. She's like 100 years old. She's probably like... Hanyu doesn't like alcohol. If I drink, Hanyu will also taste it, so she always complains when I try to drink it. That's why I usually drink only when Hanyu is far away from me. Of course she'll know right away when I do, but it's too late by then. No, you can't! You're too young to be drinking! It's my body. I'm gonna make my own decisions. No, I hate alcohol! You can't drink! I don't want to fight with you tonight. my voices between Hanyu and Rika, they're two adorable voices. Being like fighting with each other, it's so funny. I'll dilute it with orange juice so you can handle the taste. Is that a deal? That's not the point! I don't like the smell of alcohol. So you can't drink! And you jumped around and complained. She was making a lot of noise where Satoko was sleeping. Stop! You're gonna wake her. No, I'm not. Remember, you're the only one who can hear me. Oh! Who do you think you are? Just listening to myself, it's really fun. It's adorable. I went to the refrigerator and took out a pack of orange juice and spicy kimchi I typically use for her punishment. Let me ask you a question. Would you prefer if I ate this spicy kimchi to punish you, or drink a sweet orange juice cocktail while enjoying the beautiful moon instead? Oh. Hanyu clenched her lips while jumping up and down, ready to burst into tears. She should be disciplined for being that noisy, but she never has been since I'm the only one who can hear her. Besides, she's like air, so I can't even give her a spanking. Hanyu loves sweets, but she really hates spicy food. Rinka, Mika, when you stop jumping around. Satoko woke up suddenly. I had to hide my glass in a hurry. Satoko doesn't know about my drinking habit. What time do you think it is? She fell asleep again after speaking. See? She was bothered by you jumping around like that. You nighttime nuisance. Just like I'm the one that can see her, I'm usually the only person who can hear the noise she makes. However, that's not the case all the time. Hanyu does exist in this world. Sometimes people actually can hear and feel her existence. It doesn't happen too often, and people think that they just heard some random noise. Based on my experience, people who are in a critical condition like Satoko tend to hear her more often. When I say critical condition, I mean we've reached the L4 stage as Irie would describe it. At that stage, there's nothing that can be done anymore. They will feel the existence and hear the noise of something they can't see. That would really mess with their mind. Hanyu stopped jumping up and down, and I gave up as I started pouring alcohol into my glass. I wasn't drinking because I wanted to be mean to Hanyu. In fact, I always wished she would enjoy it too. I poured only a little bit of wine inside the glass and diluted it with plenty of orange juice. That's called a mimosa. Well, it depends on what kind of juice, but yeah. In fact, this cocktail is pretty much just juice. I also put some crushed ice inside the glass. With that, it looked like a real cocktail they served at the bar. See, Hanyu? It's very diluted. I licked the edge of the glass to see how she'd react. I guess it's not that bad. Good. I'll be drinking this tonight. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore, alright? Hanyu has been scared of that kimchi punishment for a while. As I put it back inside the refrigerator, she seemed relieved. I took the glass and headed back to the window. There was no breeze, but it seemed a little cooler. Hey, Hanyu, do you feel something is different this time? Are you talking about Keiichi and Reina? Shion, too. Everyone remembers a little bit about their past. They seem to be using those memories to avoid their fatal mistakes. I don't think it would be surprising if this was happening individually, but I find it very strange it's happening to everyone at once. I know I often use board games as examples of fate, but I feel like this is the same lucky chance as rolling all sixes on 3 dice. I think that's a good way to describe it in the sense that we're starting closest to your desired future. But I don't think this is the miracle you've been waiting for. I knew what she was trying to say. She was telling me not to expect too much. The die is designed to have 6 sides. It's not a miracle if I roll and get a 6. A true miracle is when I roll once, but get a 10. Just like what happened with Keiichi in my previous life. In other words, a miracle is something that would normally never happen. Keiichi gave the doll to Mion, Reina spoke with her father, and Shion started taking care of Satoko after remembering her promise to Satoshi. That was all because they had those intentions somewhere in their hearts. There was only a side of their die that was engraved there already. Still, even if you couldn't call 3 dice rolling this well a miracle, it did mean good fortune. I'm sure it was God's way of celebrating you finally feeling motivated to change your fate. I thought you were one of the gods. You only treat me like a god when you're trying to tease me. I was just kidding. Don't get upset. Anyways, that's why I'm in such a good mood tonight. I lifted up the glass of orange wine and gave a toast to the moon. It tasted like nothing but sweet orange juice. It was funny to see Hanyu making a happy face as I took a sip. I wonder if I can escape the death of 1983 this time. If our goal is to escape from this board, then I don't think we'll ever have such a fortunate start again. No matter how hard I tried to prevent things from happening, there were some things I could never control. It's such a huge letdown when that happens. Even after trying so hard, something renders my efforts infertile. I'd probably been wasting my time for so long, I was trying to escape from that pain. For the first time in my life then, I've been blessed with a favorable situation. Everything seems perfect in this world. There's no reason for me to be depressed. It's like the weather is perfect, and the wind is blowing in just the right way. If I failed to put my ship out to sea, there was nothing to pin the blame on. I understood. I understood what Hanyu was trying to say with that concerned look on her face. If I didn't escape my death under this fortunate situation, I'd have to accept that my fate wasn't something that could be changed. This is an ideal world where all my friends overcame their problems. I was always in a depressing world, but this time, all the pieces of the puzzle matched. If I couldn't change my fate in this world, then it was proof I couldn't change it in any world. This was the ending I've been afraid of for so long. The loss of hope, and the death of my soul. Of the pair of us, I was probably the only one who would die. Hanyu will most likely remain there even if my spirit disappears. She must be afraid of being alone after I lose myself. That's why she's telling me not to expect too much. I bit down on an ice chip inside my mouth. It was pleasantly cold. Hanyu, I know we've been over this many times, but I want you to think about me again. Sure. You want to know why you're being murdered in 1983? Yes. A strong will becomes fate. That means the reason I get murdered this year is because of someone's strong will. I think you're right. Who will benefit from killing Rika? If the person has a strong will, there must be a clear motive for them doing so. It might sound odd coming from me, but I think most people like Rika. I don't think anyone had motive to kill me. The people who live in the village are all fond of you. Thanks to you. Oh, that's pretty. Just showing my appreciation. Anyway, we now know the Sonozaki family's not the culprit. I have no idea who else would want to kill me. You know, this village is supposed to be the safest place in the world for you. You're right. It's supposed to be. There are plenty of people who would protect me here. It's ironic. For a long time, I've been refusing help from all those people who are trying to keep me safe. Rika, I think we should rely on Irie. People in this village love and cherish me, but no matter what, they never saved me when I tried to escape the fate of my death. I spoke to several villagers in the past, but they never believed me, and none of them saved me in the end. They probably didn't believe me because I had no idea who was trying to kill me or what their motive was. If I could explain that, people might be more accepting of my story. But there's nothing I can do. No one would believe a little girl saying she's going to be killed without rhyme or reason. All they think of is me as the reincarnation of Oyashiro and the leader of the Furude family. I would love if she called Akusaka. They do cherish me, but they won't protect me with their lives. Keiichi would. On the other hand, Iri and his people are totally different. They realize how special I am, and they would make sure that nothing happens to me, except for Takano's the one killing you, I'm pretty sure. If I confessed to them my life was in danger, I'm sure they would do their best to prevent it. They have all the means to protect me from a violent end. However, none of it really worked in the past. It's not that they're unreliable. It's because Takano... She's not dead. The one responsible for protecting me also gets killed on the same day every time. In other words, asking her for help is completely useless. She's reliable, but also isn't. It's ironic I'm the only one who knows the reason why they can never save me. She's not dead. I wonder if that's the murderer's plan. Tomatake and Takano get killed because they're my guardians. Then I get killed after that. I think Takano's death is definitely related to your own. If it's the same fate. I mean, if it's the same suspect is killing them for the same motive, I might be able to alter my own outcome by preventing their deaths. I don't know if you remember, but we've tried that once before. The deaths of Takano and Tomatake mean the loss of my protection. Because the two of them die, the suspect is able to kill me. Pretty sure it's because Takano kills Tomatake and fakes her death. That's why I've tried to prevent their deaths somehow. But they never believe me. I tried so hard to persuade them, but they didn't listen. I eventually gave up and just thought of their deaths as fated to happen. It's the same hopeless feeling I used to have towards my parents when I was able to go farther back in time. Oh! When I found out that death was inevitable, I lost interest in them. After all that time had passed, I forgot how hard I used to try to prevent my parents' deaths. Besides, I thought you hated Irie and his people. Yeah, they look at us like they're nothing but guinea pigs. Interesting. I support them so that they can help Satoko, but it disgusts me to think they're only using me as a test subject. For what? I've been resenting Irie for that reason. Still, I should try to get closer to him. After all, he is the only person who understands how important I am. Huh? Why? He's the main person I should be talking to, and he has the most potential for protecting me. Why? I can't avoid seeking help from him just because I don't like him. I've asked him for help several times before. But Tomatake and Takano get murdered even so, and it ruins everything. After their deaths, Irie panics and becomes useless. That's why I gave up on seeking help from him. But in this world, I've been blessed with a positive situation. I will never have as lucky a start as this again. This is the best chance I'll ever get, so I have to give it my best shot. You should tell Keiichi. I really don't like him. But he's not a bad person. I should respect him more. He's serious about helping Satoko, and he's not much of a mad scientist as I'm inclined to think. Takano's a strange person too, but she's also someone who can give me her support. But she thinks I'm only her guinea pig. That's why I really don't want her help. Tomatake is more reliable than Takano. The biggest problem is he only visits the village a few times a year. On top of that, he always dies before I get killed, so he can never help me. However, they really are the people I should be talking to. If I can change the fate of their deaths, they should be able to save me from mine. It's possible the only reason I lived until 1983 was because of their effort. Okay, I'm gonna approach them once more and do what I can to try to save them. Oh, don't worry. I expect they'll be murdered anyways. I'm not getting my hopes up. So I'll be fine, even if this hope's betrayed. Oh, you're such a cool girl. I chuckled at her comment. If they can escape their fated deaths, then I'm sure they'll greatly influence my own destiny as well. And this time, I'm going to try talking to them with the assumption they'll still be killed. In short, I'll talk to them about how I'll be protected from my coming danger after they die. If they issue such orders, then maybe the guard around me will be strengthened after they do. The protection they provided is probably the highest standard of security I could hope for. Yet, I lose that the moment Tomatake and Takano die. What does that mean? So I never have their protection after Watch Nagashi. And therefore I get killed too. In other words, that's it. Whoever possesses the strong will to kill me actually just wants me dead. Yet so long as those two are alive, there's tight security all around Hinamizawa. Why? 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 Especially Tomatake, who is a visitor. Why? I don't get it. That prevents the killer from getting to me. So to kill me, they must first kill Tomatake and Takano, the heart of that security. Then my protection falls away, leaving me exposed. Okay. This solidifies my theory that it's Takano even more. If Takano knows something about Rika, that makes so much sense. Like, she's an occult fanatic. She would totally 100% do something like that to create a story, which was the very first note that was given. The more I reason it out, the more I realize their fates are connected to mine. So Takano kills Tomatake and fakes her death to get rid of whatever security is there for Rika. I don't know what security that is. I don't really understand what that means. Or why they're behind it, especially Tomatake, who's not even, like, part of the village. Thinking from that point of view, my destiny becomes inescapable the moment I abandon them to die. You should know what you have to do first, then. Yes. I have to think about saving their lives before thinking about mine. It's kind of ironic. I gave up on them because I was more determined to save my life. But I finally came to the conclusion that I have to help them first before helping myself. But there's something I still don't understand. Someone with convictions this strong is trying to kill me for some equally strong motive. Yet no matter how often I debate it, I can't think of anyone who'd benefit from my death. Not only that, but there should be people who'd want to protect me. Especially since they would do anything to protect me in the present environment. They even eliminated my mother. Wow, we're getting lots of revelations here and no explanations for them. To be perfectly honest, I don't even care about her anymore. I never got along with her, and she's the one who took my father's death the wrong way, making a huge deal out of it like she did. She got what she deserved. We did see a note from Rika's mother at one time. I forget which chapter it was in, but she didn't like the way that they treated her. She didn't like the way that the villagers treated her. I'm a valuable guinea pig for them, and I could be a bomb too. No one benefits from making me explode. There's only disaster awaiting them if that happens. Huh? See, this is... okay. This makes me think she is tied to this disaster. Lots of people will be lost, and nobody will gain anything from that. Why am I so fucking smart? I am so smart! Oh my god! According to Takano, my death would be like an eruption of a volcano in the middle of the village. I told you! And the reason it didn't happen in book 2 and in the Mion and Shion chapters is because she died beforehand. I'm not interested in what happens after my death, but they're really concerned about it. They're watching me every day to ensure I don't accidentally hit my head on the corner of a block of tofu and die. Okay, this is all starting to make sense, and it's like solidifying the fact that it's Takano in my head. There's something else that I don't understand. The zombie, I call it the zombie plague. I don't know exactly what it is. The thing that makes the X factor that makes people paranoid. But yeah. They're watching me every day to ensure I don't accidentally hit my head on the corner. Oh, I already said that. It's fair to say that they're here in order to prevent the eruption from happening. I'd be suspicious of them if they were going to benefit in some way from my death. But as everyone knows, that can't possibly be the case. Wait. What if she just dies as an old lady? Would it still happen? My death would create nothing but disaster. They're benefiting from me being alive right now. Perhaps it's not about a gain, but a grudge. Maybe someone has a strong grudge against my family and kills me knowing I'm a bomb to this village. Yes, yes. That's why I was suspicious of the 3 families, especially the Sonozaki family. However, after observing them in numerous worlds, I feel it's not the case. I felt this way in several lives, but it always had something to do with that incident with Keiichi and the doll. It's clear there's nothing going on between the Sonozaki family and mine. In that case, it must be some religious fanatic. If it's not about profit or a grudge, it must be someone who's secretly a deranged cultist. Takano! We've already had a series of murders 4 years in a row under the name of Oyashiro's curse. Timing-wise, it would be somewhat interesting if the reincarnation were killed on the 5th year. Is that true? I couldn't stand to be murdered for such a whimsical reason, but such a motive actually seemed fitting. Why? I told you. Ironically, I would have to suspect Takano if that's the case. She's well known for being an eccentric researcher of local histories. She's only interested in this village's history because she already knows who I am. She's doing the research on based on the notion I'm important, so she should have no reason to kill me. She would desire to keep me close to her as a research sample. It's hard to believe she would kill her favorite toy. She might be willing to kill someone who would try to harm her little toy, though. I'll never figure out how, no matter how hard I think. I just know someone's definitely going to kill me. I don't care about anything else as long as I can escape that fate. And it's like the way she's killed too is very ritualistic. that it makes me think that whatever Takano, I'm like 99% sure it's Takano at this point. I'm only leaving that 1%. Because I'm like 99.9% sure it's Takano at this point. Especially with the information that was just given to me, which gets me even more excited. Anyways, what was I gonna say? No, I take that back. I want to escape my deadly fate, but I want my friends to be happy. And I want the rest of my life to be happy too. I don't want to hide myself in the forest forever just to get away from my murderer. In fact, I did try that once before, but I still met with the same ending. Living in the forest was a horrible experience. I think I was able to survive until July that time. Wait, really? That might be the longest I've ever lived. I smiled bitterly and finished off the rest of the orange wine in the glass. I'd have to talk to Irie again. I don't like him, but his people are my only hope. It's getting late. I should go to sleep. I think so too. Good night! I laid down and closed my eyes, but I couldn't fall asleep right away. Suddenly, I remembered Reina's words out of nowhere. It was no good when I was thinking about it on my own. I wasn't thinking about it on my own. I was talking with Hanyu. Now I know it's important to talk to other people. Friends have greater meaning than I thought. You can talk to them about anything. I finally realized that. Yes. After I asked Takano for help, should I also talk to Keiichi? I've told him before in my previous lives, but he never believed me then. I'm so excited! Ah! I'm like a giddy little girl. I'm also a genius! I'm so smart. I've gotten like everything right so far. Once again, I don't know how, like the hows or necessarily the whys either, but I know the whos and the sort of whats. Like I said before, the X is like it's either some kind of physical, it's like an actual drug, and it might be what they're testing on Satoko, because they haven't said what it is. That makes people paranoid, you know? And that would make sense then, because Reina has access to whatever um, that shot is. But it's interesting. I don't really need to know what sort of protection that she has, but that solidifies Takano even more. Okay, let's look at this tip, and then we're going to take a quick break and then continue. I would love if Keiichi could eventually see Hanyu. Mm-hmm. I hope Hanyu can see it. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, make sure to like and subscribe because I know you liked this video. My Rika and Hanyu interactions are adorable. Yes, they are. Right, so I will see you later. Toodaloo!